All right, get a load of this story. McClatchy newspapers, they were the people known as Knight Ridder before, and they were the ones that are praised throughout Bill Moyer's new documentary,
Buying the War.
Buying the War. And, God, they're at it again. They do such a great job here. They found what nobody else has found, which is so simple when you look at it. So the Bush administration has been saying, since the surge began, violence is down 50%. The rest of the newspapers, they eat that up, and they're like, wow, 50%, 50%, 50%. And McClatchy newspapers are like...
Sectarian violence, by the way, is what they say. So
yes.
Overall violence is not.
Right, sectarian violence is down 50%. So the McClatchy newspapers, can I just take a look at that real quick and see what you're talking about, right? So they get the numbers. It turns out the administration has been leaving out bombings.
Car bombings, mainly.
No, but stop. Think about that for a second. They're leaving out car bombings? Well, ain't that a lot of it? Okay. I mean, that is unbelievable. So then, President Bush has this terrific quote on Charlie Rose.
This is one of the all-time great quotes to explain to Charlie Rose why they're leaving this out.
Right. Quote, if the standard of success is no car bombings or suicide bombings, we've just handed those who commit suicide bombings a huge victory.
I've read it 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. I can't follow it.
Well, if the standard of success is, sectarian killings, by counting sectarian killings, we'd be giving the people who are doing sectarian killings a huge victory. So we won't count it, so it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I mean,
couldn't you apply that to everything? You can apply it to car bombings. You could apply it to sectarian killings. You could apply it to the whole war.
You can apply it to anything. I hear you, but that's not even what he says. If the standard of success is no car bombings or suicide bombings, we have just handed those who commit suicide bombings a huge victory. I mean, he even leaves out the part, if we counted them. I just mean it's also an insight into his brain, being unable to process what is a fairly simple thought.
Well, that's certainly true, too. And I love that standard. Why don't we just do that then? Well, we'd be handing a huge victory to our enemies if we told you they were fighting.
Yeah.
And so we won't be doing that anymore. There's no violence in Iraq at all. Nobody's fighting. Everything's just fine.
I got an idea. Why don't we not count American servicemen killed by bombings?
Of course, because
we'll include the ones killed in small arms fire.
Right.
But not the ones killed in bombings, because if the standard of success is no car bombings killing American servicemen, we have just handed those who commit the bombings of American servicemen a huge victory. So the critics, the naysayers, they're saying that actually the number of American servicemen since the surge is increased. But it's actually radically decreased.